Mary. Look what you've got.
Hi, welcome to our special meeting event here with Barbara Duke. So I'm going to step out of the way and angle it and let Barbara take over.
Well, actually, I'm going to introduce Barbara.
Okay.
And so first of all, thank you very much for being here, Barb. I'm just overwhelmed that you have traveled so far to be with us. And so we really appreciate that. And also for the time you spent with us earlier today.
Happy to be here.
Okay, Barb sent me a little bit of information about her, and she joined in 1991, February of 91. She promoted to executive director in November of 1994, so that was a very quick turnaround there, three years basically, and then became a senior exec in 2007. And then promoted to National Executive Director in 2009, so only a couple of years in between there. Her stats from 2014 were in personal team sales of $500,000 for the year. Her organizational sales were $112,823,980. So that's huge.
12 million.
12 million.
12 million? 12 million.
Not 112. It says 112.
Does it?
I'm still impressed.
Anyway, that's a typo. It's got to be 12 million.
Okay, so nonetheless, almost 13 million. And her organization recruited 1,231 new consultants in 2014. Barbara also received the Legacy Award in the year 2000 and spoke on stage at National Conference. I believe that was the same year.
That was the year, yeah.
And then received the Circle of Honor, which is basically the top award in the company for each year in the area of developing directors, and that was in 2011. So significant accomplishments over the years that you've been with Pampered Chef, and we are just extremely honored to have you here. Many, many incredible incentive trips, including Hong Kong, Australia, Venice, Prague, Munich, Barcelona, and the list goes on. So I think that this one probably really do want to read, though, because when Barb started, she had no knowledge of direct sales. She was not aware of the growth that was possible with this kind of business. So she started just like everybody else, basically. And she says it has been a life-changing experience, and she really enjoys that she can help others in our business. So thank you again, Barb, for being here. And
don't go away. Don't go away, because I have a little gift for you, because Laura has just recently promoted to director, so I knew I would be coming. So I did not mail this to you. I'll explain my voice to everybody.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So, appreciate that. Yes. Okay, shall we get started?
Okay. All right. So you guys weren't, well, Candace was at lunch, so you're the only one, Nancy, and then the ones on the Zoom call. I actually have something called spasmodic dysphonia. And I always say it's ironic I can't talk and I speak for a living. So isn't that interesting? So what they do for me is I get Botox injections into my vocal cords that paralyzes the cords and allows my voice to come out. And I recently had an injection, and that's why I'm down right now in the process of coming back. And that'll last me about 2 or 3 months, and then I start all over again with the same process. So sometimes 4 months if I'm lucky. So but that's how it is for me, and we just power through it, and we just work no matter what. I always tell my team, time for an injection. Just remember, I won't have a voice, but I still have a brain, so just keep calling. They're just so used to it. Anyway, tonight what we're going to talk about a little bit is setting some goals, and then we're going to talk about getting shows on your calendar, and I'm going to leave some time for Q&A. And just so you know, I'm a very interruptible person, so if there's something that you have a question about while I'm talking, please feel free to interrupt me. Now, the guys that are Zooming in, Do they have that ability?
Yes, they can.
Okay,
When we
same
see
for you
them,
guys.
we'll be able to.
Okay,
Yes.
same for you. So, all right. So, and I think you guys received handouts, right? The Zoom people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're working with first is the handout that says GOALS across the top. And that's what we're going to start with right there. And it's a 2-pager. So let's go ahead and pull that one out. And this is something that I just keep by my desk. It's a little visual, and those of you probably can't see it that are zooming in here. I don't know, but it's a visual of stairs that just seem to go on forever and ever. And what it says is there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. And I love this. It's just a reminder that you just have to keep always working. There's no easy way to success. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. All right. I want you to not think about what your business looks like today, but I want you to think about looking forward. So that's what we're doing. I always tell people that a car has a rear view mirror and it has a windshield. And we can't do anything about our past. So forget looking back. That's a smaller window or a smaller thing to look at. So focus on the windshield and looking forward, because forward is the only thing we can change about anything. We can't change the past. So we're just going to move forward, and that's what we're going to worry about, okay? So it doesn't matter what you've done with your business up until now. We can change all of that tomorrow, okay? And make it what you want to be for the future. So before we start talking about goals, I'm going to give you permission to dream a little. I want you to close your eyes and think for a minute. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you like your business to provide for you and your family that you don't have now? So just be thinking of something you would like to provide for your family. This business to me is all about my family and what I can do for them. It always has been for me. But it can be about you too. So really and truly, this business is all about dreams and what we can have, because we can have anything we want if we're willing to work for it and always have a plan of action and just always be moving forward. Anything is possible. And that is something I've learned about direct sales that I love about direct sales. I worked in the corporate world for 30 years prior to Pampered Chef in the field of law. And aside from going and getting my actual law degree, I really made more than many of the attorneys because I was pretty valued to them. I actually trained the new attorneys coming in, but I was capped out. They couldn't justify paying me anymore because the attorneys did not like that. To be honest, they didn't appreciate the fact that I was making that much as I was. So I pretty much was maxed where I was. And but the beauty of this is that you're not ever maxed. If you want to make more, you just work harder, and it's that easy. So it's kind of I shouldn't say easy. I'm going to say it's simple, but it's not always easy. So anyway, so we're going to think about what would you like in the next 12 months. Okay, that's what we're going to focus on right now. And this could be business, it could be personal. Maybe you're in the market to think about buying a home. Maybe you want to put in a pool. Maybe you need new furniture, private school for the kids, dance lessons for the kids, get out of debt, medical bills. Maybe you have a milestone anniversary or something coming up. Or maybe you would like to take a dream vacation. There's a lot of things that you can think about. So all of those things, this business is a vehicle to get you there. That's what it's about. This is the vehicle you need to get you there. So before we start writing anything down, let me find out what I do with that. Here's my problem.
Hey, Jen, just check your email. I sent you the attachments via email.
Getting old is just really not real fun, I tell you what. Your brains fall out and all these things. It's just, oh my goodness. All right. Okay, we all have goals. So like somebody may be sitting here thinking, I want to do 8 shows a month or 6 shows a month or whatever it is for you, or I want to make $1,000 a month. We all have those goals, but here's what I want you to think about. Why do you have those goals? Why do you have those goals? What is it about that? And I want you to think about why do you want to succeed? These are all questions you're going to have to kind of dig deep for. And what does success look like to you? We need to find that why. We talked a lot about this, those of us that were at lunch today. It's so critical to know our why and what it is. What is our reason for doing this? It's just really, really important. So the why is really what's going to get you up off the couch and get you working. That is the only thing. It's not going to be your director saying you really need to be doing this and this to be successful. That's not going to make you move. What's going to make you move is your reason and your why, and thinking about that. And we talked earlier today about creating a visual around the why. I think it's just very, very important to have some kind of a visual. And I'm going to give you an example. When I was in the process of promoting to senior executive director, when I got really serious about it, I created, you know how sometimes when your computer goes to sleep, a screensaver comes on. So I created, it was called a marquee, where you can write something. And so I wrote Senior Executive Director, Barbara Duke. And so when my computer would go to sleep as I was sitting there working, that would just keep rolling across my screen. And you see my brain kept seeing that. And whatever you feed into your brain is what you're going to get out of it. So why would you want it to be negative? You want it to be positive. So whatever your brain is a very interesting thing. Your brain will believe whatever you tell it, whether it's true or not. So, and the same with whether it's positive or negative. So whatever you feed your brain, that's what's going to come out at the other end. So it's got to really be positive, and you really need to work. Some of us have to work harder on that than others, and I'm one of those people because I came from a negative background, and so I have to continually work on being that positive person that I know I need to be. So, all right. So here's what I want you guys to do. We're finally to the handout here. I would like you to write down, what would you like to accomplish in the next 12 months? And I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes here. Or just do 10. Write 10 things down. The first 3 or 4 are going to be really easy. And then it's going to start. You're going to start thinking and digging deep. So go ahead and write 10 things down you'd like to accomplish next year, since we're almost upon that. So you're stumped on 4, aren't you there, Amy?
Yep.
Yeah, that's very normal. Laura's got a nice list going over there, I'm seeing. All right, how are you guys doing?
I'm reaching.
You're yeah. It's a hard one. All right. Laura's still writing. Boy, she's really,
She's good.
I think she's got at least 10 on
I'm dreaming.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's just think for a minute and imagine all those things on your list are possible if you stay focused and you really work hard, because they are. But for the moment, what I want you to do is look at your list, and if you could choose one of those things on your list that would have the biggest impact on your life right now, what would that be? I want you to mark it. Okay, now at the bottom of the page, it says my major goal is. I want you to write that one thing down there that you circled. Okay, now this technique is something that definitely works in probably any really successful person that you've talked to has done this. This is just a very, very good goal setting technique that I'm teaching you here. So we're going to take it a step further. And what we're going to do is whatever your major goal is, we're going to flip your page over and we're going to now put it in the form of a question. So if your major goal is to make $1,000 a month, let's say, you're going to turn that over and say, how will I make $1,000 a month? So turn it into a question, whatever your goal is. Make a question out of it. Okay, now comes the really hard part. This is where you need to get your creative juices flowing. And I want you to write down 20 ways that you're going to accomplish this. So if your goal is, I mean, if anybody wants to share, I can give you some ideas. Go ahead, Candace.
Paying off my school loan debt.
Okay, so my goal is to pay off my school loan debt. Okay, so 20 ways you could do that would be, obviously, to make more money, make more income. And then you're going to maybe start breaking that even down further, doing more shows or whatever it is for you. So win the lottery. I'm just kidding. That's not a real practical one. My husband buys one ticket every week, and I go, this is the one, right? Every week, one ticket. It's so funny. So yeah, so 20 ways. And this is where you really have to start thinking and get creative in your mind. And this is how you accomplish things, is by thinking out of the box and really getting that mind working. So go ahead and start writing. This is even harder than the last one, Amy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
These concepts here that I'm teaching you are taken from Brian Tracy. You guys have.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's got a book called No Excuses. And if you look at pages 73 to 76 in that book, this exercise is in there. I mean, this is just a really good goal-setting exercise for anybody. It's a great one. You can use it for everything. So I'll give you guys a few minutes for this.
I might need it.
You might have a few days, maybe. But you know, you can keep adding to your list there.
Oh, yeah.
Things as you think of them.
I can pick ideas from other people too.
It's kind of like a new consultant, adding people to their list of people when they start. Keep adding. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna give you these.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Did anyone come up with any ideas that maybe hadn't thought of in the beginning? Something creative? Nothing? No. Okay. You know, Candace.
Fruit pampered chef, or like
Well, just on how you're going to accomplish that. I mean, I don't know how much your loans are, but for me, I would create a visual for that. And a visual that I have taught some people to do, like if they have a car they're trying to pay off, that they have a visual of the car. They maybe take a picture of the car and however many payments they want to pay that off in. Like if they break it down into how much they want to pay per month, then I have them like put slices through the car. And then each month they start blacking it out, and pretty soon the whole car is blacked out. It's just a visual again. I think it's critical to have a visual for your goal. And so whatever that is, I can help anybody come up with a visual, but I think it's really important to have that visual for whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So I'm just going to give you one last tip about before you go to bed at night. I think it's really important to jot down the six most important things you're going to do tomorrow. Because during the night, your brain actually works and comes up with solutions and ideas for you, believe it or not. So that when you get up in the morning, you're actually going to have a purpose. And so instead of floating through the day, you're going to just kind of already have a plan and know what it is you need to do. It's really kind of weird how that happens, but it's really important to just jot down some things you're going to do the next day. I put everything on my calendar now. I used to do a hard copy list, and I would go work 11-hour days. That's what I did. And I would work 11 hours, and I would go and do a show. And it was late when I got home, but I still would sit at my desk and write down my to-do list for the next day, no matter what, because it was that important that I knew that would help to achieve that. And then I prioritized it, which things I absolutely had to get done. I think I probably, that was before Stephen Covey. I think I missed the boat there. I should have written that book, I guess. But yeah, it all works though, you guys. It really does. And obviously, put your least favorite thing, and Amy, I already heard you say that, eat that frog, because that's what you have to do, is put your least favorite thing at the top of the list and do it first. Otherwise, you're dreading all day doing that one thing. So make sure you're doing that too. All right. So did that help anyone to come up with something there for yourself? But you could do that. I think any goal you have, I just think it's a really good idea to sit and break down all the ideas and ways you can do that, whatever it is that you're working on. All right, we're going to move on to bookings. And I've given you a handout that's called 1, 2, 3 Daily Magic Formula. So if I gave you guys, and maybe you guys as directors have heard this formula somewhere along the way. If I gave you the formula of doing just 3 things each day, telling you that would change your business, so you'd have these end results. Is that?
I don't think that she can't see it.
She
It's just my
couldn't
computer.
see it. All right. At the end of a year, you're going to have these results. You're going to have 780 new contacts. You're going to have 78 new shows on your calendar. You're going to have 39,000 in sales, 39,000 trip points, and you're going to have an extra 10 to 12,000 a year income by just doing these 3 things I'm going to tell you. Does that sound enticing?
Can you say those things one more time? 780 new contacts.
78 new shows, 39,000 in sales, and 39,000 trip points, and an extra 10 to 12,000 a year. It's about 1,000 a month, if I calculate that right. All right. You're going to just do these tasks 5 days a week. I'm going to give you 2 days off. So, okay. Number 1, up here on your handout, you've all heard of the 3-2-1 concept. So this is the 3 concept, which is the first piece to the formula, and it's doing 3 contacts a day. Okay? And this is how it works. This is a breakdown. If you do 3 contacts a day for 5 days a week, guess what that is? 780 new contacts. And I was telling all you guys at lunch, my challenge is to make 3 brand new contacts every day, not to pick up the phone and call somebody that's an old contact. I'm talking about new contacts. And I've given you guys, it's kind of down on the list there, but it's, well, I'll get to it in a minute, but it's called my 20-point plan. And what this is, your new business should be half of what your old business is every day. So in other words, you should be making, if you're making 10 contacts a day, 5 of those should be new business. So if you're doing 15 for the week, 5 of those should be new. Okay, now, when I say new, I mean out and about, or think about this. Who calls every single outside order that comes in? Every one of those customers. Does anybody do that?
Ryan Parker does. I don't do it.
Think about how much new business that could bring you guys.
Yeah.
That's such an easy call to make, because all you need to do is say, I'm just confirming the order with you. And boom, you can just sit there and have a conversation with that person. So, and I'm guilty also of not doing that, but think about how much new business that could bring us, just that one thing.
And they already are a warm contact.
They are a warm, they're not even a cold contact.
Right.
Absolutely. So that's just one idea. And what this 20-point plan is, I'll just explain this, and I know it's later in my notes, but this is a really, really cool tracking sheet for you to track who you've contacted and what you're going to do so you don't feel like a total loser. You're going to give yourself a point for just picking up the phone and calling someone. Okay, so you get a point for that. So you don't even have to talk to anyone. You're going to get a point for picking. You're just going to leave a message. That's a point. And then if you make a contact and talk to someone, that's 2 points. If you book a party, that's 3. And if you set up an interview or talk about the business, that's 4. Now, you don't get to add those. It's not cumulative. You only get 1 of those for each call. One, 2, 3, or 4. But this came from Becky Ishii, who's a good friend of mine. And she always challenges her team to have a 20-point day. She says, have a 20-point day. This is set up for a 20-point week. But I say, the more you want to escalate your business and the quicker you want to see things happen, do those 20 points in 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. So challenge yourself, however quickly you want to see your business grow. But this is I just created this after I heard the idea from Becky. And, but I love this idea. So
Class Dojo, Amy. It's like Class Dojo.
Yes, it is.
Our kids use an app in school, and they get points for different things.
Yeah.
And like my kid always wants the top points. She always comes home and reports to me. I don't know where she got that, but I'm like, oh my gosh, how many points can I get tomorrow?
So that's awesome. So, but it's a visual. To me, I think we just work better with visuals where we can really see results happening. And that's why all the tracking sheets, the company gives us a lot of different tracking sheets, even the trip, it's just the visual of seeing where you're at. I think it's really, really important to do that. All right. So I'm going to go back a little bit here. So 3 contacts a day, that's the 780 contacts. That's 15 a week. That's very doable, you guys. Very, very doable. So based on a ratio of 1 to 10 shows booked, that's 78 shows. 780 contacts, 1 in 10, that's 78 new shows. for the year. So do you see? And based on a $500 average, there's your $39,000 in sales, or your extra income of $10,000 to $12,000. So that's breaking it down so you can see exactly how we did that. And making contacts is, I don't have this book with me because I loaned it out. Making contacts is what is called a small, mundane task. And has anybody read the Slight Edge, Jeff Olson's Slight Edge book? Fabulous book. And that is what he calls it, is small, mundane tasks. And Rory Vaden also does the same thing, okay? But you've got to just do them, because over time, it's those small little things that add up to big things. So even though it doesn't feel like we're accomplishing anything, we really are. And that's what that's kind of about. So number 2 on your list there, we're back to the 1, 2, 3 formula. So number 1 is 3 contacts a day. Number 2 is studying 1 product a day. At the end of a year, you're going to be knowledgeable in 365 products. So just pull up the website. There's tons of information on the website about all our products. So become knowledgeable in those products. 1 a day. Now it sounds easy, doesn't it? So 1 a day. And then number 3 on your list is read 10 pages of a personal development book per day. Okay, and I know a lot of you have seen this. This is Rory's books. Some of you have probably read. Have you guys done Take the Stairs?
Mm-hmm.
Have you read this one?
I'm working on it.
Procrastinate on Purpose. He actually says you should read this one first. But he wrote this one first, but he likes, I think, this one better. But these are both very, very good. And he's awesome. Love this guy. They videoed him in from, he had just gotten back in the country. And we had our exec conference on September 11th, and he videoed him that day. And he
Is that the Do It Scared?
Yes.
Talk?
Oh my gosh. So good.
Amazing.
He's just, I love this guy. He's not hard to look at, too. I mean, he's a cute guy.
Rory, it's Rory.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go.
He was at conference.
Yeah, he's probably 10 years younger than my daughter. At least.
Yeah, he's a baby.
At least. I don't know.
I think he's one of those people that's going to look.
Is he in
young
his
even when he's
30s
old.
or 40s?
I think he is.
I think he's in his 30s.
Oh, then he's way younger than my daughter. My daughter would be 50. She's almost 51. She'll be 51 in February. So yeah.
She was 4 when she had her.
Oh yeah. I know. All right. Now, here's a bonus I'm going to give you. Is there a bonus on there?
Yes.
Make customer care calls to every single guest. Okay? 10 guests, 78 shows. That's those 78 shows. There's 780 loyal customers. That's what customer care calls do. They create loyalty to you. Okay? Customer care calls are awesome. One of my directors that left me many years ago, she used to call them customer astonishment calls because nobody expects those, you know. And I don't know if you guys have seen, and I didn't have it as a handout, Belinda's 222.
Yes.
Yeah, we've done that.
Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. So that's really good too.
Do
All
you
right.
remember that?
You do a call 2 days after, or I'm going to even say the day after, just thanking them for coming. That's it, out of the blue, thanking them for coming. So the idea is to build a relationship with these people, not to start jumping on them for business. So you're building a relationship first. So I love that. All right, so Let's go into talking about how we're going to get all those shows and those contacts. Now, you guys all have a handout called Target Calls for Bookings. Okay. I will tell you that we do this at every single team meeting. Who are our target calls for the month of December? Okay. Now, this has all your verbiage on it of what you're going to say, but let's talk a minute about target calls. A target call is a call to somebody that's truly a warm lead, like Laura just said. So what would be a target call? Maybe, I'll give you an idea. Somebody that wanted something on a drawing slip, indicated they wanted a product on a prize drawing slip. Well, guess what this month is? Anything's on special. So that's a target call.
It's my favorite call. It's my favorite special.
Oh,
Hands down.
Yeah.
Better than double free products or anything else.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Totally.
I agree.
On my end.
Because everything's on sale.
Right.
Anything
Nobody
you want.
can have an objection.
Absolutely. So if somebody has a drawing slip, you're going to call them up. And these words are pretty much all here, but I'm going to go over. You're basically going to call and you're going to say, hi, Susie, I met you at Jones Pepper Chef Party and blah, blah, blah. You're going to do a little bit of chit chat. And here's the thing, when you do a customer care call, you need to always know what that person purchased before you make the call. So you go into the call prepared with either a recipe or a tip for that product. You go into that call ready for a recipe idea or a tip about the product. So you need to be a little prepared before you make that call. So now you're going to make that call and you're going to say, I saw that when you were at Susie's party, you indicated that if the blah, blah, blah went on sale, you would like to hear a little more about it. We need to find out first if she's purchased it since then. So I always say, is that something that you would still like to get? Or have you purchased that already? I always clarify that. And if she said, yes, I would still like it. So here's the words. If I told you a way to get that $100, you never say 60% off. They don't know what that means. Never use those words. So if I told you a way to get that $100 deep covered baker, I know it's not that much, but for $40, would you want to hear more about how to do that? So that is, I'm asking permission to tell her about the host plan. Okay? So if I could tell you a way to get that $200 grill pins that for $80, whatever 40% is, would you want to hear more about how to do it? Now she goes, well, yeah. So now you're going to tell her about the host plan, and you're going to tell her you've got a couple dates, they're going quickly, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Now, what if you don't have price drawing slips? Okay. It's okay. Well, let me go over one other thing. Do you guys do wish lists for your customers at all at your shows?
I have a Post-it note on my catalog, and it says wish list, and I tell them to take it home. I don't take it and type it in.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
These are my catalogs that they get when they walk in the door. I don't even give order forms. This is it. This is where they write what they want. And I tell them right at the beginning, and this is not, you guys, I don't have an original thought. This all came from other people. And so what I say is, who here is an online shopper? Almost every hand goes up because everybody shops online. So I say, okay, here's what we're going to do tonight. I've given you a piece of paper here. And, oh no, let me back up. I say, okay, I don't know if you're like me. When I go online shopping, I just am dumping stuff in the cart. And then by the time I get to the cart, I'm going, what have I done? And now I have to start unloading the cart. Okay, so I've given you guys all a little piece of paper here. This is your cart tonight. And if you need more of these, I have plenty more. In fact, I'm going to do a challenge, and whoever creates the biggest cart by the end of the night is going to get a gift from me. It's a season's best cookbook. That's all I ever do. Okay? That is going to encourage them to make a big cart. This is going to be the wish list you're taking home to put into your computer so that you know when something comes on sale, you know you can run all those reports in the computer. You guys all know that, okay, of what they want. So, but right now, and I know they're working on getting that set up to happen in the shows, but right now, you have to go to the contact after you've created it to do the wish list, which is a little bit of a pain, but they're working on it. Believe me, there's a lot they're working on. Okay, so, but that's okay. That's how you're going to do that. Now, someone says, well, what if they want to take that home? No problem. Just put their name on the top and snap a picture of it. And you've got a picture of it. There it is. You still have it. Okay. Or you can say to them, why don't you grab your phone, snap a picture, but here's what I'm going to do. This is something I do for my customers. I'm going to be sending you an email tomorrow thanking you for coming to the party tonight, because I always do that. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to create a list of those items for you so you have it in print and you know exactly what it is that you wanted. Okay? So that's the wish list. And that's going to really help you. Like if you can look at that wish list, and I would pick the highest priced item off a wish list, and that's what you're going to call and do the customer care on. Customer care call.
Couldn't you even have them pick a picture of it and then text it to you, and then you could save their email, their phone number in your phone? Because don't you do that? You have them text you?
Yeah.
So why not have them text you at the end of the show,
Great
and then that
idea.
way you have the list and the number.
See, this is why I go train, because everybody has better ideas than me. That's a great
And I
idea.
can look at it, hit
That's
dial.
a good one. Yeah. So wish list is critical. Secondly is the prize drawing slip. Now, if you don't have any of that, it's okay. You can still do a customer care call. And what you're going to say to them is, were you able to get everything at Susie's party that you wanted? Okay? Or let's say it's, and whatever they say they weren't able to get, you're going to quickly calculate how much that was, and you're going to do those same words. It's all the same words. Okay? Now, what if somebody, what if the Rock Crock's on special like it was last month, 60% off, and you have no idea, you don't have any wish list, you don't have anything on anybody? You're going to think of a show where you demoed the Rock Crock. You're going to pull up every guest, and you're going to make those calls to those people, bring them back to the moment of that Rock Crock. And then you're going to find out, is that something that you have for your kitchen? Okay. So it doesn't matter if you have any information. I'm just saying it's going to be better now if you start getting information, wish lists, and all that sort of thing. Okay? But it doesn't matter. You don't need it. And I love the words, were you able to get everything at Susie's party that you wanted? And typically they say no to that. Almost every time. All right. Where am I at here? You know what? I am up to the 20-point plan, and we already did that. So, and you know, I've got a note here that says, generally the reason people don't have enough shows on their calendar is they're calling the same people over and over. And pretty soon, those people start running the other way. You don't need to do that, and you don't want to do that. You want to really try to pull in some new people. And we all have customers that we could call on. Yeah, even going back. I would start with the most recent and move back as far as customer care calls. Okay? And, all right. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so I think that's that handout I completed. Now, let's talk about out and about. And I know, Amy, you were going to ask me this afternoon more about that. So, what are some things you guys do when you're out and about? Nothing. Okay.
Logo
That was an
wear.
honest answer. I appreciate that. Does anybody ever approach anyone when they're out and about?
I know recently Amy and I were shopping. Remember when we were at Macy's?
Like every time we're shopping.
I usually have logo wear on. So
Always.
the last time we were shopping at Macy's, I did give the Macy's checkout girl a catalog. However, where I fail is to get her information on the return.
Yes.
And sometimes that's very hard with somebody that's there working, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
they're
like-
not necessarily have time to
Yeah.
do all that, especially like at the
No, I-
grocery store.
Yeah, I usually just say on your break, why don't you look at this?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You need to be prepared for any situation like that. You need to be prepared to walk away from that person with no business, because
Right.
that's very
Right.
likely that may
Yeah.
happen. But you just want to, you never know when that one.
Right.
Like, I was with my granddaughter shopping, and she had just asked me, she just turned 18, and she'd really like to do this, but she really doesn't have the time. And her mother would kill me if I signed her up. She's going, I was telling Amy, she'll be graduating high school this year with a college degree. She's doing both. She has 16 college units plus high school. And
Same.
plus she has a job.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't want her mother to shoot me. I just don't even go there with her. But we were out shopping, and she says, Grandma, how do you approach people? I said, well, you just watch. So we were in the store, and I was doing a return that I had purchased earlier. And this same clerk happened to be waiting on me, and she was pregnant. Okay, that's a ding, 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 ding in my book. And so we're up there checking out, and she already knew I did Pampered Chef because we discussed that
Because you told her that
the
was your
first time
one.
that I made the purchase from her, but now I'm doing the return. Well, it wasn't a return. I ended up buying more, but I exchanged. You know how that goes. And so anyway, she's ringing us up, and I said to her, I said, when is your baby doing? You have to be careful with that because I've got myself into
Oh, yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
very pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And she said, January. And I said, oh, gosh, is this your first? Haven't even mentioned Pampered Chef. Is this your first baby? No, I have another little 2-year-old at home. I said, oh, wonderful. I said, are you planning to stay home with the kids once you have this baby? You guys, she was like, fertile myrtle there as far as Pampered Chef. Oh my gosh. And she said, well, I probably am not going to be able to do that. And I said, well, you know that I do Pampered Chef. And I said, quite honestly, most of the women that do this do it to be home with their kids. And I said, I always will have a job for you. I pulled a card out of my wallet and handed it to her. And I said, I would love to hear from you. I haven't heard from her, but we walked down to there, and my granddaughter goes, Grandma, that was slick. She was so cute. But I said, that's how you do it. You just start building a relationship with people. That's all it's about. I didn't really care about, I truly wanted to give her a job
Right.
so she could be
Right.
home with those babies. I mean, I truly, truly did. So it's about building relationships with people first. And it's interesting. I think it was Lisa Hendrickson. Is she you guys?
She's ours.
Yeah, she's ours.
Okay. She said something recently to somebody that I was coaching. And what she said was, if you're afraid to pick up the phone and do a follow-up call the next day, a recruiting follow-up call, you have not gotten to know that person well enough if you're afraid to pick up that phone.
That's a good point.
And I said, wow, that was a very powerful statement right
Yeah.
there. So it's all about building those relationships first, because that's going to bring more business to you in every way possible in the long run. So if you just focus on going and making a friend rather than finding, see, I think we all go out and about so focused on, I've got to find a lead, a Pampered Chef lead, I need to book a show, Forget all that and go and find a friend. Go and find someone to build a relationship with, because that's what's going to build your business. And like I tell people that I'm coaching as far as customer care calls, if you're afraid to pick up the phone because you think they're going to reject you or hang up, forget Pampered Chef. Call to thank them for their order. Make it a pure customer care call.
Right.
Don't even mention Pampered Chef for the first 10 calls. I want you to do pure customer service calls, and that's it. Just to kind of break the ice and get you comfortable. And by the 10th call, it's going to be starting to ooze out of you, trust me. And you're going to be talking about it, something. So you got to sometimes take baby steps. But if you don't step out of that, we all have a bubble. That's our comfort zone. And if we don't step our big toe at least out of that comfort zone every single day, we're never going to grow our business or ourselves. That is how we grow, is going out of the comfort zone. Do you guys have any clue how hard it is for me to get on the phone doing a cold call when I do not have a voice? People think I am 100 years old, not 70, and they think I'm an alien. I've had people say some really rude things. You guys have no idea how hard that is for me. And I have so much going on against me that I could use as excuses to fail. You have no clue. And I choose to use those as my reasons to succeed and just prove everybody wrong. I can do this anyway. And so that's what I challenge everyone to do. There's no challenge you cannot overcome. It's just you have to make the decision and the choice to do it. No one can do it for us. We have to do it. And we have to go out and stumble. And we have to make mistakes. That's all part of the road to success. We just have to do it. All right, I'll get off my pedestal here, my soapbox. But it's just really so important. But I've kind of already talked about that. Here's a really good challenge for you guys for out and about. I love this challenge, and I issue this a lot, is put 20 mini catalogs into your pocket, your whatever, your handbag or whatever, and really and truly challenge yourself to hand those out. And you can even say to someone, part of my job is to make sure I hand 20 of these out each week, and I would love to give one to you. Now, you do need to make sure that you have something to get their information. So, does anyone have ideas on what they do to get information? I'm going to give you some, but I'm going to ask you guys first. What do you do to get their information?
Well, I don't, but my director says.
But you will,
She
right?
says, I'm doing a drawing every week.
There you
She
go.
says drawing because she's from New England. And and then she says, so she takes that, she's a little Post-it. There you go. So she does a weekly drawing, and they can get in if they give her their info.
Yep. And even just saying to people something like, I do a monthly newsletter that has a ton of recipes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They love recipes. So just telling them, remember we talked at lunch about the with it. What's in it for them? We need to speak that language. What are they going to get out of what I have to offer? What is it that they're going to benefit? How are they going to benefit? Recipes.
Yeah.
They love recipes. So, and I'd love to be able to send that to you each month. And you can opt out of it anytime. So if you feel like you're overloaded with this, just go ahead and hit that unsubscribe button. It's going to be very easy for you. Or let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, I use the little sticker that has been going around. I know we got those at your retreat, and we've gotten them from some other sources, and I have those on there. So I usually, when I hand them that, let them know I would love to be able to follow up with you to answer any of your questions or serve you in any way. So if you'd like me to do that, please go ahead and fill that out for me. And, that's a little bit more direct than what you're talking about. But I like your ideas much better. But that is one thing and I don't always get their information. That's just the truth. But I force myself to say it.
That's all.
Because I got nothing to lose.
Because it's that big toe going out of the comfort zone every time you do that. And you're right. Not every time you're going to get up, but that's okay.
But the more often you say it, the less nervous you are.
Yeah. Or here's the customer at wherever I'm shopping. Okay. Let's say Macy's. We're in the line, and Barry's standing by me, and it's my turn to go up. And I look around, and Barry's gone because he knows what's coming. And so he's either under the counter or in the car by now. So I'm going to say to that clerk, I might say, you know what, Tiffany, thank you so much for your help today. You totally took care of everything I needed. And I'm just going to tell you, you gave me such great customer service. I just had to thank you again. And you know what? I'm also in a customer service related business. So I know you gave me great customer service. What do you think she's going to do with that? What do you do? Exactly. Maybe she won't, but they almost always do. What do you do? Or here's my favorite, especially in December, going in the store and you get up to the clerk, and let me tell you, have you guys ever done retail? I haven't, but I know in December they are hating life. Okay, so you're going to go up to that clerk and you're going to say the same thing. You did such a great job. You must love your job. I love to do that in December. That's one of my favorites. And they just look at me like, really? Oh, dear. So, yeah, that's a really fun one to do. Anyway, but it's really easy. Or the waitress, my gosh, I've been watching how hard you're working here. I have a business, and I'm always looking for people with your work ethic. Have you ever heard of Pampered Chef? Boom, right there, it's done. And either yes or no, or you can carry on the conversation. It's so easy to bring it up with anyone. Somebody was saying they stand in the longest line at the grocery store because they know they're going to be able to talk to more people. I think that was Lisa. Talk to more people, So don't think of that as a negativity, looking for the shortest line. Look for the longest line because it's going to give you more time to talk to people. So I
remember I had a consultant on my team, and she says, I wear my logo wear and I don't get like anybody to talk to or whatever. Okay. And I eventually asked her, are you approachable? And she said, what do you mean? And I said, are you looking at your phone the whole time? Is your head down?
There she is.
I said, because I know for a fact that when I concentrate, I have a scowl and I give you the look.
Yeah.
And so even at shows, I make a conscious effort that when I'm typing in an order to do this.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm doing this. And so
the other face scares me.
Yes, and I don't want people to say something to me and then I look up and I'm with that on my face. So I'm always
body language is huge. Yeah. There's a really good book called How to Make People Like You in 90 Seconds. It's by John Boothman. I read a lot.
I do too, but apparently not the right stuff.
My son is always saying, Mom, why aren't you reading? I'm going to have to tell him, here, I need these books for Christmas.
There you go. Good idea.
He'll be like, Mom, you're going to read? Seriously, like, just read before you.
Just 10 pages a day. It's going to make a difference.
What was that one called?
It's called How to Make People Like You in 90 Seconds.
John Boothman?
Boothman, Boothman. Yeah. And it's all about body language, smiling, putting your hand out first, even just going up and touching someone's shoulder. That's huge. It's just warmth. And it means don't ever cross your arms because that means you're not open.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, well, that too.
I did turn the air on yesterday.
But you know my husband's count.
It was humid last night.
I came back to the hotel after lunch,
Was it
and he
freezing?
had snuck in there. He turned that down to Arctic temperature.
I do that in
And I
hotels all
was
the time.
having
because it's always
tropics.
humid.
I said,
I
"What
am
did
cold
you
sitting
do?"
right here.
See, I pull my nose. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of our cars have dual zones. You know,
It's like a
Oh, yeah.
thunderstorm
like
in the middle.
mine's always an 82 and his is on 60.
Oh yeah. Mine is always on 90.
Yeah, mine only goes to 82.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Now, this is another handout that I think maybe you guys already got all these. It's called Out and About Contacting Ideas. This was written by Sheree White, who is an exec in my downline. She moved to a whole new area. Didn't know a soul.
You
She
listening,
disappeared.
Jen?
Where are you, Jen?
Is she the one that needs stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, she needs that. She'll be back.
She'll be back.
She will.
So what we have to do is take you out and about, but I'll take Sam and go shopping, and then
Okay,
you
yeah.
be by
I'm usually
yourself.
beating my kids when I'm out and about. I don't know what to.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot
Well,
of
no.
business like that.
This is 22 ideas of things she did to
Okay.
get started in a new area. So, but I mean, there's a lot of networking group stuff that she did. She went way out of her comfort zone, but here it is. I mean, it's here. It's how badly do you want it? That's really what it boils down to. But there's some
That's
really
what we were talking about earlier with her. I said, you know what you have to do. The question is, do you want what you want more than you don't like doing what you have to do?
that's it.
How much do you want? And that's a decision you can only make.
That's exactly right. There's going to be pain,
Yeah.
no
It's
doubt.
gonna happen.
Do you want to diet? Well, then you can't eat cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna diet.
Yeah. So
We know that.
you know that about yourself. So that's what
Right.
you really have to come to is to
Yeah.
grips with what you're willing to do to get there.
Yeah. Do you want it enough to do it?
It's
And
absolutely
if not, then
true.
it's not.
But see, that goes back to the why,
Mhm.
creating the visual, keeping it in front of you.
Yes.
And that's why, to me, that's the foundation of everything with this business is knowing your why and your reason. And sometimes that's really, really hard because that's ever changing.
Oh yeah.
Changes all the time. And but it's sometimes hard. I mean, I've had to work with some directors for a long time to really come up with their why. It's just really, really critical. There she is. So,
Jen, you missed the part where she was talking about what you have to. Oh, she's got to put her headphones on.
but you
Jen.
can send this handout to her.
Yeah.
You just missed the part where she was talking about what you have to do out and about. There's a handout that you have to do.
Yeah,
Jen's not doing good.
She's doing okay.
Anyway,
But I mean, I'm sorry.
22 ideas.
She does really well.
This was put together by an exec. Well,
She's got it. She looks like she just printed
She
it.
gave the ideas. I threw it into a handout. Some of these are going to be out of your comfort zone. There's a lot of networking ideas. She moved to a whole new area, and these are things she did to get started in a new area. This was an exec that did these things. So
Awesome.
there's really, really good ideas here.
Thank you.
You guys. Okay, and she's got the handout.
Yes.
So if you want to look at that or pass it.
So Amy's going to end up giving you some homework. So be prepared, Jen.
Okay.
Okay. And we talked earlier, calling every single outside order. I don't know if you were there.
Yes. Yes.
That's really important. And you guys have all seen Frank's list, right?
Yes.
Okay. How about cross-pollinating? Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh,
Never
right.
heard
Oh
of
wait.
term.
All right. Wait. So then for the F, who was
Friends.
there, Frank's? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So your
Like the
friend
friends who is
Susie.
their relative.
So who's Susie's relative?
Right.
Who's Susie's husband's friend?
Right.
So you cross-pollinate, and you're going to come up with a big, huge list. Okay. So that's just another idea that you can do. All right. So who has something that we talked about that they're going to do? Anybody?
Which one? I mean, there's so
All
many.
right. But what I'm saying is don't leave here without a couple or three ideas that you're going to be willing to go and do. Because that's what you need to do to get those shows on your calendar.
I know personally I need to work on January and February. So I had some really big shows in November that I need to follow up with those people.
Bingo. That's really good. Okay, who would be a target call for January? I mean, we need to get December filled before January, but who would a January target call be maybe?
Someone who doesn't want to necessarily spend their own money, so they want the more free.
Right. That's a good one.
Anybody who wanted anything that's a higher price item.
Yep.
I'm also looking for more
The
brides in
show
January.
has to be $650, remember?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
To get the double.
Yeah, $650 per
Okay.
day.
Maybe every single past January host.
Yes, I'm
I
working
called
on
all
that
of
too.
them. And
Those would be definitely a target for January. The heck? Is that the doorbell?
Yes, and
And then, of course, the obvious,
Is that Barry?
whatever's on special.
oh, would it be Barry?
20 already?
Yeah.
Damn. Holy mackerel. Wow. That's Barry.
Oh, it's Barry. It's Barbara's husband.
It's, yeah.
Come on in, Barry.
He can see you in action again.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, he comes and cleans up for
That
her.
is the last thing he likes to see.
Is he gonna go hide
You
in
know,
her?
he's only been to one show
You know, I was
in
gonna ask you.
25 years.
My husband never has. I think he would be surprised if
Yeah.
he came.
But the show, and Barry will remember this, it was for a good friend of ours. And so we knew the circle of people.
Right.
And one of our circles, one of the gals was in the process of dying.
Oh.
And we knew we were going to get the call that night, and everybody there knew her. And I just had to have him there for support.
Yeah.
And I got through the show, and I wasn't, I swear, 30 seconds after I finished my presentation, the phone rang that she had passed.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So but that's the only time he's seen me do a show. He'd prefer just to be, to appear after I'm done.
But I think that's a good idea for your, like, Jim came to a first couple of shows, like my first one, because I did it up in DC, and then the night I went into labor with Mia, he was there because I didn't know I was in labor, but
Yeah.
y'all know that story. But I don't think he's been to one in a long time. Like, he's heard me talk to you guys, but I think that would, it does help the support for your significant other to see you in action, in your glory.
I had to go into full like anaphylaxis to get him to ever come to work. He showed up with Benadryl.
Well, Barry's never been on my show, so it's all okay.
David and I actually talked about a couple times, mostly in jest, but you'll get to meet him tomorrow. He's like Amy. He's
fun.
funny, and
I
he's
like
got
him
this
a
really
lot.
thick Southern accent, and everybody loves David. And I'm just not as likable as he is. So
Don't say that.
Stop it.
That was negative.
You're not allowed to talk like that in front of me. Look.
That's your new personal affirmation. I'm as likable as David.
we will laugh about that.
That is cool.
You guys,
Saw
that's
a
another
picture
great
of
book.
you
That's-
Yeah.
He does
Wow.
affirmation training.
Okay.
Right. What do you say when you talk to yourself? It's the first book he wrote.
Has Henry been good?
Who is that by?
Chad
I think
Helmstetter.
there's.
He's an
We think that
affirmation
he
trainer.
started the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
His first book was What Do You Say When You
Okay.
Talk to Yourself?
Man.
And then the next book was
Mia.
Who Are You Really and What Do You Want? Great affirmation
What's the
training.
author's name?
Chad Helmstetter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a big Christmas
I
list
was
going
about to
here.
say, I've got a Christmas list now.
But we did talk about doing the business together because he is so easy to connect with.
He would be last in the shadow of the wood.
And so would Mike.
Well,
I
and
mean, I
you're
know that's not
David,
realistic, but-
and you're David Cooks.
Yeah, he does.
You know, because you were talking about
Yeah.
his meat and everything.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Lord.
All right.
Laura.
You guys, it's almost time to be done. But I'm going to give you a
I can't
couple.
help it. That's just not right.
I have questions.
Did I help?
You don't hush.
Okay. Let me just, I've got another handout here.
I'm remembering my question.
This is a cooking show tally form. And
Oh, yes.
this would be, if I was going to be training for 4 hours, which I do quite often, I would go into how do we increase our show average next.
Right.
And so one of the things, of course, the key to a high show average is host coaching. Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Because I'm going to tell you that your check is created way before you get to the show.
Mhm.
By the time you get to the show, that's already determined.
Yeah.
Okay, so host coaching is key to having a good show. And I mean, maybe next time I come, I can do host coaching training because that's really critical. But
Love that.
this is something you
We can
leave
always Zoom her
with
in to do a
the
training.
host. This is called the cooking show tally.
We
And
kind of have something similar.
this is really old. This is a download on the website.
Uh-huh.
Is it like the app?
Like our app.
We call it the app, the after party post.
Oh, okay. So you probably have something
Yeah, I
already.
think it's similar.
But go ahead,
It's
tell us what you got.
basically, okay, so here's where your show is.
Okay.
Here's the next level and the
Level
next
beyond.
level. Okay.
Okay.
My show average is close to 1,000. So that's what I coach to.
Right.
And when I had a $350 show average, I coached to 1,000.
Yeah.
That's how I've gotten it there.
Mhm.
Because that's all I've ever coached to.
Mhm.
And they expect to have $1,000 show. And if you expect it and they expect it, that's what will happen. Okay? So you just have to assume it's going to be $1,000 show. And they don't know what that means. So you need to say, my average host gets, they all have $1,000 show. Amy, I know you don't have a clue what that means, but here's what it means. $215 free products, 5 half, I go through it. Is that something that you would like to do? Now I'm getting the permission to tell her how to do it. And once she says yes, okay, we're going to work together as a partner. We're going to be partners in crime here because my goal is for you to clean out the Pampered Chef warehouse. Okay? And so we're going to make that happen. And then I coach like crazy for her. And I walk into $300 to $600 in orders before the show. And the way I do that is I teach my hosts how to sell. Okay. And I know we're really close on time for Q&A, but
Don't
here's,
tell us that part, though. Just tell us that part.
okay, here's how you teach your host how to sell. And then I'll put my notes down so I'm not tempted to do anything else. I get distracted. All right. So, Amy,
Yes.
okay, when you start inviting people, not everyone's going to be able to come to your party. Trust me, that's just how it is. So, I got to ask you a question, Amy. Do you have a Pampered Chef product or two that you couldn't live without? What would those be for you? So I need to find that out. That's step one. What does she love? Okay, so give me a couple products there, Amy.
Deep cover baker.
Deep cover baker. Love that deep cover baker. What do you do with it? Now I'm going to get her re-excited about it. That's step two. What do you do with your deep cover baker?
Cook everything under the sun.
What's everything? Oh my gosh.
Dinner every night.
Yeah, I want you
Dinner
to
every
teach
night.
me.
15 minutes.
Oh my gosh. And what is it about the deep cover baker that makes it better than anything else?
Goes in my microwave.
Okay, is there anything else?
Easy cleanup.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
Whatever. So you're going to have this conversation and you're going to go, oh my gosh, Amy, I already have a deep cover baker. You just sold me another one. You did a fabulous job talking about that deep cover baker. Now, when your friends say they can't come to the party, you don't even need to give them a catalog because that's going to collect dust. I want you to share with them a couple of your favorite products because that's what they're going to want for their kitchen. Okay, and I know this works because all my orders, when I get outside orders, it's the same stuff. So I've taught them properly how to sell.
That's it.
And
That
so
fast.
now here's what I say. Now, normally my hosts get $300, $400, $500, sometimes $600 in orders before the show. So you can expect that to happen. Do you see? I'm setting that expectation. So that's going to be happening. Now, I know you want that cookware half off. How would that feel to have that taken care of before I even walk in the door? How's that going to feel?
Totally make me dance.
Okay. You see what I'm doing? So now I'm going to say, you're going to get that with $200 in orders. But let's talk about 3. It's another half price item. What's that going to be for you? Okay. And then I'm going to go to 4. And then I'm going to set that expectation of all hosts get $300, $400, $500 in orders. It's just normal. They don't want to be normal. They want to be better than the last person. Okay, and then I talk about how I'm going to set her show up on my website. She can even just snap a picture and text me the order. She doesn't need to add it up. I will send her back a total right away. And I got my pom-poms sitting right here. Can't fit into my cheerleading uniform anymore, but I've got my pom-poms. I'm going to be rooting you on. And every time an order comes in, either from the website, on your show, or you send me one, I'm going to give you a total and tell you right where we're at. Okay? That's how I coach a host. So they're all excited, and they start getting those orders. And if I don't have orders coming in, I'm going to be doing another call to her. How's that going? I haven't seen any orders. Yeah, I haven't seen any orders coming through on your show, and I've given her the link. Do you need me to send you the link again? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's kind of teaching your host to sell, and it works great.
And it's so easy now to send them the link because you have it in the app. You can just log into the app, copy and paste it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah.
You don't have to do that yet?
I didn't know it was in the app. I didn't look.
Oh, yeah. I prefer the app because it's bigger. You can see, it's easier to log into the app, and it's like you don't have to go through as many screens. So to copy and paste
They're
it,
making it
text it,
easier.
On the
it's so
website,
easy.
you can't copy the entire thing. You can only, it's weird.
Yeah,
You
there's a button
click
that says
copy, but every time I click that, it doesn't copy it.
No, you paste it somewhere.
Yeah, you have to
I tried to do that.
if you're on, are you on an iDevice or are you on the computer?
I'm on the computer.
All right, we can look at that before you
You
leave. if you want.
should be able to paste it.
It comes up in another screen at the top,
Okay.
which I've noticed since I started doing
I
that.
don't notice that. Okay.
Yeah,
I knew
I
in the
didn't
app I
know.
could
You
just
have to
straight
confirm
copy.
it, and then it says this link is good, and then you hit copy, and a box pops up at the top, and it says just highlight and copy.
Yeah, I didn't know
Okay,
that
I
either,
didn't know that.
but I've pasted it right into a document and it works. So, yeah. Okay, questions? Anybody questions? Yes, Amy.
So 3 contacts a day. This is where I'm stuck. 3 new contacts a day. Totally new, not past customers.
They can be whatever you want. That's my
I know,
challenge
but
to
your
me.
challenge. I'm talking about what you do. Your challenge is 3 new contacts a day, not past customers.
Out and about.
Okay. How in the world do you do that? I mean, where do you go to meet that many people? Seriously, I mean, maybe.
Ask Barry. Actually, he probably doesn't know. He's in the car.
I was going to say, I thought he was hiding under the counter.
Yeah, you just create conversations when you're out and about.
Maybe I'm not out and about enough.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I
I
am
mean,
either.
you've seen me do that all the time. I mean, it's just,
I have
So-
two for you.
pardon,
I have 2 for you.
to
I've
contact.
done it all.
No, he's done it also for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
you-
it's just becomes part of, I don't
And I know I've heard some people say like they make it a
So
purposeful outing.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not. I mean, I'm just thinking
Yeah.
my daily experience. I don't know that I run into anyone new. I feel like I run the same route, and that may just be me.
And
Maybe I
like,
need to
you know,
go.
like, because you're
So
habitual
tell me-
to go to
tell
the
me
same,
about, and what is it you're doing?
like every Monday you go to the same grocery store.
And the same girl checks me out every time.
So you need to go to the
Okay.
other Food
So let me
Lion.
ask you.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Okay,
true, but
right.
have you asked her to have a party for you?
She's 17.
Oh.
So, yeah. Yeah, and I don't
Okay.
know how that was working out, but okay. Sorry, Jen's saying I want to post it on her catalog. Okay, whatever. I'll fix that. I can get that. But yeah, so I drive my kids to school and I'm in the car a lot, about 4.5 hours a day. So that's really that. I mean, that's
Wow.
yeah. And
Wow.
so maybe it's just that I need to purposely go more places. That would
I need to purposely go too.
Well, do you have Sam all the time?
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I can't remember. Dawn Stevenson.
Yes.
She for a time had literally like swapped sitting chores or paid somebody, whichever it was, and like once a week she went. It was her Starbucks date, and she went up there wherever you want to make it,
Right.
and got out of the house because
Uh-huh.
there's too many
Yeah.
distractions.
And go work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just for 3-4 hours for that morning, that was her work time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every day, but it's once
Right.
a week.
Right.
Yep.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be sitting at your computer.
Right.
You could be going out go to the mall or
Right.
go someplace where you're going to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
exposed to people.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do some vendor events. I mean, those things count too.
Yeah.
And they're not always available. Like, January gets really sparse.
Outside orders. Do you call all your outside orders?
No, but I'm going to.
That's a new business
That's a huge
contact
one.
right there.
Right.
So just even doing all of those, Amy.
Yeah.
There's a good start.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, I really didn't think about the outside orders as being a new contact,
But they are. If
But
you've
you've
never met 'em.
never talked to
they
them
didn't come to the
before.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never talked to them before, so they really
And that can
are.
tie in with your go for no.
Yeah.
Too. So like, that's like my goal is to get the no's because the yeses will come. So if you use those outside orders to call them, that's a good source to get those.
Continuing service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that help, Amy?
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
How about the girls?
Jen, do you have any questions? I think she's muted.
Hey, no, I'm just absorbing everything.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Could
I have
you-
a screaming 2-year-old at my knees. So
Oh, can you hear Barb okay?
yeah, I can hear great. Great. So
Right, because my voice is not really the best tonight. So, all right, no other questions?
Do you have anything else? Because I want to go back to one thing.
Go.
Okay.
Go
And
ahead.
I know you and I have talked about this a fair number of times, but and I think you touched on it some tonight already. But I have this block, or in the past I've had a block mentally that when I make follow-up calls, I don't care if they're people that marked yes in a big square on their price slip or at the vendor event. And then I bring that, bring it up. I saw that you were marked that you might be interested in hosting a show. I struggle really hard to book those people. So I don't know what it is.
Okay, let's think of a different question maybe then, if that's a hard question for you. If you were to, remember I gave you 2 questions this afternoon. If I were to tell you everything in our catalog was half off tomorrow, what's the first thing you would get? Okay, and then maybe that's the question you want to ask. Or if I told you that you could have a $90 shopping, that's an average show. That's where I'm coming up with those numbers. That's a $500 show. $90 shopping spree with our catalog, Or I would say, I saw that you expressed an interest in having a show when I met you at blah, blah, blah. Let me ask you a question. If I were to tell you everything in the catalog was half off tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd get? So I don't know. Maybe just pose that question.
Because I need to know
so
what
it's
they
more
want.
Comfortable.
What's in it for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, because maybe if you're focusing too much on the show part,
Yeah.
like,
Or the rejection that you're thinking you're going to get. That's what I think.
Yeah.
More
I'm pretty
of it
used to
might
it.
be. Well, I don't think I ever get used to it.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that has become a like the elephant in the room with me, that it's the thing that I feel like I'm not good at, so therefore it's the thing I avoid doing. It's the thing I procrastinate on, where even though it's the thing that would make the most difference in my business.
Okay, what are you not good at? Making the calls? Or
No, I can pick up the phone. It's the, what do I say to them
okay,
that isn't, okay, so when do you want to book your party?
okay, I would say we need to create an affirmation for you, something to the effect of, I get bookings with every follow-up call I make. That's the end result you want.
Mm-hmm.
So create that affirmation for yourself. And you guys know with affirmations, you've got to say them out loud at least twice a day, because it's not just seeing them visually, it's hearing them. Your mind has to hear that. So you can write all you want, but you've also got to say those out loud. And 2 times is a very minimum. You need to do it more if you have to. And whether everybody needs to leave the house before you do them, so they don't think you're crazy, that's okay. You wait for that moment, but you want to do that a couple times a day at least, more if possible. Say those affirmations. So think about what it is that you want, what is the end result you want, that's the affirmation you create for whatever part of your business you feel you're lacking in. Okay, and I can work with you on that, Laura. That's an easy one.
Well, I mean, I just know that if I can, all the goals that I have are hinging on that one thing, that I won't be able to accomplish anything else in my business in terms of recruiting, earning the income I want, achieving promotions.
Don't put it in that. Don't put it in that light. Say when I
bottom line
do
is the
this, the rest
bookings.
of it will fall in line.
Okay.
Don't say I can't do anything
So
else.
what
It
do
will
you
happen
think?
when I do
So
it.
your biggest thing is you're afraid they're going to say no, or you're afraid you don't know how to ask.
I don't have the right words.
Okay, well, did that help with what
Yeah.
I said? I see that when you were at blah, 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 vendor event, Susie's show, you indicated you would be interested in having a party. So I have a couple things I would love to ask you. First off would be, if I said everything in the catalog was half off tomorrow, what's the first thing you would get? And then find that out and then say, I would love to share with you what I'm doing for my hosts in January, or whatever month you're trying to book. And then you got to have something killer to offer them. Maybe you're going to give away the farm a little to get it rolling. And I mean, I love that veggie strip maker, giving that away for free. But what I like to do to get bookings is say to someone, you got to sell them on a product first. And about that price range, I think is good, $10 to $15. Okay. So I like the veggie strip maker because that's just been really, I think that's amazing
Cool,
for
it's new.
$14.50. And so I'm going to talk that product up if they haven't seen it. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I have a couple openings that just kind of magically appeared on my calendar that I need to get filled. They don't need to know they've been sitting there all along. But I need to tell them that and say that. And here's what I'm doing. The first two people, and I know these are going to go quickly, but the first two people who pick one of those dates, when they do their party, they're going to get that veggie strip maker from me for $1. I always say $1 because to me the dollar store is more appealing to women than free. And so I always say $1 for a product. Okay, that's one idea to fill those dates. The other thing is you can do, there's a name for this, but what you do is you offer a product like whatever product again, maybe a little higher price product. And you've got like the 1st through the 10th of the month. This would be good for January because there's that extra bonus too. That's actually through the 15th, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you're going to say, pay the day. So it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
You
you
pay
guys
whatever
know?
number
Yeah.
of dollars.
So if you book your show on the 2nd, you get blah, blah, blah for $2. 3rd, you get it for $3. 4th, $4, and so forth.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's another incentive. So you need to be prepared with what theme show that you're going to be offering, and if an incentive, have your ammunition ready to go when you talk to that person. Be prepared when you go in there. And if there's any way of remembering if they attended a show or wherever they were, if there was a product you were highlighting, focus on that with them. Do you remember blah, blah, blah? You know, is that something you would love for your kitchen? And do an offer around that even or something. I don't know. Okay. Did that help, Laura?
Yeah.
Because we really need to get that rolling for you. Because you do have a block there, I can tell, going on. We need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that. Because I think you're going into that thinking you're not going to get that. That's what's happening here. I think you've already prepared yourself to not get that, because that's how you started the conversation here. Did you guys all hear that, or did I just hear? No, really. So you're going in that call thinking you're not going to get it. We need to flip that around so that you're confident you're going to get it. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. But being confident that you're going to get that booking, especially if they check the box.
Right, that's the perplexing part. So I always have to say, well, what am I saying wrong? And I know, I mean, I've really not used this technique in terms of finding, specifically asking them what products are you interested in getting.
Yeah.
So
well, let's try that, and then we need to maybe talk more often. for sure. It's fun.
Do you, when I do a vendor event, I have a line down there that says I only want to be contacted if I win.
Yeah, I
Because
use it.
the same one, because I know, like, I wonder at times with vendor events, do they mark yes, thinking that because that's how they're going to win?
Right.
Yes, I want to have a show.
Well, you guys know you do something where everybody wins. You know
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
Free show.
Like we win a free
Everybody
show.
wins.
Two consultants I talked about that, new people are cracking up. They're like, "That's crazy. I would never do that." I'm like,
Right.
"Why not?"
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, because you can pick the cheapest recipe you want
Like
to
chicken
make.
Turkey sandwiches, boom,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. And then, and on top of it, I'm sure this is what you guys do. Well, okay, you don't want it. Before I call the next person, do you know anybody that might want it? Before I give it away to the next person. Do you see? That's
Yes.
the referral.
Right.
You're asking
That's
for the
good.
referral there.
Hmm.
Yeah. So everybody wins. Everybody wins.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I just moved down to Florida, a lot of my contacts are still in Virginia. So when I make those calls that say it's been 6-7 months since they've done since they've done their show, how do I approach that? Because I don't want to lose them as customers, but I need to be making live
Catalog shows. I would say a catalog show, maybe being a catalog show consultant. If they don't want to do live shows, I always ease people into being a consultant that way. Thinking about, I've moved out of the area. There's a lot of people hanging there, customers, and say, I would just love it. You were think of a quality about them that would make them a great consultant. And tell them that and say, have you ever thought of something like this? I would love to see you, help you get started.
All right.
So,
Was she talking about recruiting or about hosting?
no, but I always turn it into that, Lori. That's good too, because I never think about always recruiting is my number one focus, as it should be. You guys, especially that are leaders, number one focus, because that's how we're going to create the big commission checks.
And then Jen, once you recruit them, Amy will train them.
Oh, see, there we go.
She'll just say, have to come out to her country.
Just like I did with you.
Yeah,
I know, but I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, I want to eventually build, I shouldn't say eventually, but I want to build back up down here, and that's where I'm just.
Okay, we were talking about you earlier, and here's my question to you, because Amy and I were talking. Amy, right? Yeah. How far are you willing to drive to do a show?
I'll drive pretty much anywhere at this point.
Okay, so but this is what you need to think about. How far are you willing to drive? And then start focusing on those areas. And you're going to offer a referral fee for a show that's from someone in those areas. Like I was telling him, my son went away to college and he played baseball, and I wanted to go see his games, so I needed to build a business down there so I could write those trips off, right?
Right.
I did tax law. I know what you have to do legally to do that. Anyway, so what I did, my local shows, I went in, and the very first show, I said, I'm getting ready, and you could do this with your customer care calls. Same thing. I'm getting ready to expand my business into this area. If you know someone in that area, once they've done might want to have a party, once they've done a show, I'm going to give you this. So you offer something for the referral.
Okay.
Once the show has held. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. This out and about thing has got a lot of good ideas too.
It really does.
For
Stuff
networking.
I had not even told me before.
Yeah. So
Jen, are you sitting right on top of your family, or is your family kind of spread out down there?
Oh, we're everywhere.
So you could do that and say cousin down the street, down like a county.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of families spread out in different counties down here.
Yeah, so like you could get somebody in whatever county, like, hey, can you get me a show with someone over there so that I can come visit and
just
write it
need
off?
one.
And
That's all it takes. You know that.
I need one.
You do. So, but do a referral fee.
A referral fee.
Somebody,
That's a great
product.
idea.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great idea.
Yeah. That's
Thank
why
you.
you're here. So
Yeah.
you made the commitment to Zoom into us. So good for you.
I'm really glad I did. Yeah. This is
Good.
Sorry.
Right. Any other questions? We've definitely gone over your time here.
I don't see anybody leaving.
Can I
Barb.
ask you another question?
Yes.
So, this is
Do you need a drink? Are you okay?
You
You need a
want
refill?
water or something?
Okay.
I'm good. I was going to say something else. No, I don't really.
We can get you that.
No, I don't. I
There's
really
plenty
don't.
of
We don't
us. You
drink
want a
and work
gallon
at the
jug,
same time.
so-
You won't get anything out of me.
all right. So this is a silly nitpicky question, but
No question, silly.
yeah, I used to teach. There are ones. But when I struggle with the conversation that ensues when you have on your logo where you have your bag, whatever, and it's oh, you do Paper Chef. I love Paper Chef. I have a food chopper. Oh, I have a food chopper. Yeah, I have struggled with creating a relationship beyond this is the product I own and I use it for X. I really struggle with that. I mean,
Okay, there's another handout you need to remind me. It's called Catalog Tote Language.
okay.
And it's the whole handout on how do you talk to someone when you meet them. But
Okay.
it's basically, great, how long's it been since you've been to a
I say
party?
that. Okay. I say
Okay,
that.
so that's one question you can
Okay.
ask. What's your favorite? Or I always ask, do you have a consultant? I always ask that
Right.
out of the gate.
Yep.
And then how long since you've been to a party?
Mhm.
Gosh, have you seen our rock crop? I mean, you can go, based on the answer to that question, you can go into a whole conversation about product. What's your favorite? What do you do with it? Just think about creating the relationship.
Maybe I need to be more prepared as well to get information from them to follow up. That kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you need to
probably.
definitely, that's what that
Yeah.
handout says, right? Highlighted, you
Yeah.
saw that. That's very important. Be prepared.
Because I mean, I could talk product with them all day, but I guess that's not really going to get me anywhere
No.
unless I get something
No.
from them.
Real quick before, I know we probably need to wrap up, but we did have a couple of little gifty things for you, Barb, for making this very, very long trek to be with us. So this is a little, I know you're a wine drinker, and maybe you didn't know this, but Virginia has a very significant wine industry. We
Really?
do, yep. And
Very
so
cool.
hopefully you'll enjoy that
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
sample of Virginia wine.
Yay.
And then over here, I have a couple of other things that are also Virginia homegrown things that hopefully
you, guys.
Barry can enjoy. So thank you again
Thank
for
you.
making this effort to be here with us.
Yay.
I appreciate it very much.
And next time I come, maybe we'll pick a time that's more conducive. See, they've got their big trip reveal meeting Monday. So we're like backed up with meetings. So I think that's kind of what happened here.
Yeah, like when my exec came, she came in like March.
Yeah.
So I don't know if home office will let you come again that quickly, but to get you like the start of a new season or
Yeah, reverse.
That we talked about this when we planned this, that this was, I was initially said, no, we'll just wait till next year.
I said,
And then
you know
she
what?
said,
I want to get out here this year.
okay.
because, they were going to,
I just
if they
did it.
offer it this year, why not?
Why take it in 15 and you don't have to wait?
Yeah.
You miss it.
Here's my thing. If one of you guys is walking out of here with something that's going to help you with your business, I feel like my trip's been a success. Obviously, I'd like to reach as many as possible, but I say that at a show. If I've helped one person with their kitchen or their cooking tonight, I feel like I've been a success here. And that's how I feel. So hopefully that's happened. So
I know it has. So
good.
I want to say something, and it's something that I've viewed here. Tiffany and Amy and Laura do an awesome job at all of our meetings,
I can
and
tell
just
that.
seeing them here and the things that they're saying, I'm like, what do you mean you have a problem with that? What do you mean you have a problem? I'm like, it's really, refreshing seeing that, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're having a problem with this, and I don't understand. They shouldn't have any problems because, I mean, they know, they know everything up there,
Because the home office gives us, and
So-
we read it. That's why.
So it's kind of like, I'm sitting here going, what in the world? I'm like, who are these people? These are not people that are up there talking to us at every meeting. So, and I mean, and I don't mean to sound selfish, but I like it that we're just here because it's nice being,
Intimate.
intimate and being able to.
I think, you know what,
So-
some of my biggest recruiting comes from very small shows
Mhm.
because you have more of an opportunity to build those relationships
Yeah.
and be more intimate with people, and it's so true. So
Yeah.
sometimes a smaller setting is really better. I said to Barry, I said, well, I didn't know how many for sure are going to show up.
Mhm.
And I said, it kind of like lunch reminded me, I said, it's reminiscent of, I used to go to Lisa Messing's to Savannah.
In Georgia. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many, year after year after year, for 2 or 3 people. So,
Jen just said, I've got to put Lily to bed, but oh my gosh, what
Okay.
a rock star. So glad I zoomed in.
thanks, Jen.
Bye, John.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Night, night, Lily.
Say good night. Bye, guys.
Cute. All right, guys. You guys, oh, you know what? My purse is like
It's in my office.
down in that office. My business card's over there. I was going to give everybody a card. Don't hesitate to,
I'm gonna send you a friend request right now.
on my Facebook.
I don't think that we're friends.
You're,
but-
you're probably not. I don't ever approve anybody that's not on my team. I don't do Facebook.
She's like
Okay, that picture doesn't even look like you.
No, I know. I don't even have, all I have is a team page. But I'll put you guys on it
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'd
if
like
you
to
want to
be
be
on
on
the
my
team
team page. But
It's a privilege of attending tonight.
yeah, I'll put you guys on it. But I don't do much on Facebook. I hate doing all that. I think it's such a detractor for so many people that aren't doing their business, but they're spending 2 hours a day on Facebook.
Yes.
Please give me a break. No.
Yeah.
So,
And I called in on some training that was offered, I think, through Belinda on Facebook. And the girl talked about all these rules that Facebook has about really you're supposed to have a business page to promote your, and none of us do. Well, you have one. I don't know if you do, Amy.
No, I don't. I don't take the time to do that.
Because I don't want to spend the time, invest the time in
No.
that when I think that there are other ways that I could be maybe a little bit more productive. But at the same time, nobody wants to see like Monday when 80 million of us said, please share this on your
I do
business
need an
page
update.
or share this with your, on your wall. It got to the point where I'm sure the internet was overloaded with all of us saying, it's Cyber Monday.
And obviously, we have more paper stuff friends.
Right. We see it more than
So we saw it like every other
Right.
post. So I'm hoping that everybody else didn't see
Oh
it
my
like we
God.
I hope
did.
so too.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I don't do a lot on Facebook at all. I do a lot
So you're
of,
not like into the whole virtual party thing?
no.
We'll stop the recording here at this point in time.
That's what when I was talking to my director when I walked in the door tonight, and I was talking